Hello, and welcome back. My name is Jack Blade, and this is my YouTube channel where we're playing Satisfactory. And today we're recording episode 10 of my beginner series. And I didn't necessarily think I'd make it this far, but I have, and I'm really proud of myself, and I'm really happy about all of you guys who supported me and watched my episodes and continue to do so. Then comment and join my Discord and do all those cool things. So, what are we doing today? Last time, we destroyed my sanity by building this heavy modular frame factory, and today we're going to start out a lot lighter. We're going to be moving over to the steel factory, and we will be extending that so that it also makes stators and motors. So I will just pop over, and we will see each other on the ground. Okay, so we're over here now, and guys, if you watch the episodes, you might remember that we left kind of a space and we prepped for it, but we never really brought up the copper node that is underneath here. Like, if we go down and look, you will see... Boom. Oh, that was a fun jump for me. You can see down here, there is a copper node that is being brought up and comes in over here. Okay, have I not made the... Okay, that might be a thing that I need to do. Or is there another floor downstairs? Yes, there is. Remember, that's the resource floor. Yeah. I've prepped a little bit because we're gonna need steel pipes. And I wanted to make sure that we have plenty of them to kickstart the production. But from here is the copper ore we're gonna need, because we're gonna be using a couple of alternative recipes to make this. So the big one is we're going to be making the rotors using an alternative recipe called steel rotors. So if we bring up rotor, which we need to make stators, we have this one. This means that I don't have to bring in any new iron into the factory. I can just use what's already here. And remember, we're already producing a ton of extra. We're producing 180 steel pipes up there that we're currently doing nothing with. So let's start with changing our to-do list so that it fits better for today's mission. There we go. So with the adaptations to this list, one thing we will guaranteed be doing today is build a stator and motor section in this factory. I will also be showing off where we'll be building next and what we will be building, and then I will bring in all the required resources for that build. And if I have time, if I have the energy, and all of that aligns, because I'm not going to try and do the same thing as I did with the heavy modular frame factory. No, that almost killed me. I'm not doing it again. So I will see if we have time, if I have energy for any of build stage 1, 2, 3, or 4, how far we have time to go before I have to publish the episode on Thursday. So let's start out with building the stator and motor section, and let me just show you what that means. So we need to bring in the resources we're planning on using, right? So what are those resources? Let me show you. I'm just gonna jump and then fly. Okay, we need to go up one more. See if I can... There we go. Jetpack for the win. Such a great tool. Combined with these, you can fly pretty fast and probably fly pretty far. So it's really nice to have the Blade Runners and the jetpack combined. It's an awesome tool. So yeah, what will we be doing here first? Let me just bring out a tower here. Here we go. I have pre-made a couple of easy blueprints to really shorten down the amount of time this is going to take for me. And in with blueprints, we go here to stator and motor blueprints. I've put all of the heavy modular frame recipes that I've been working with over here. And I have a bunch of building blocks here. There's the factory module that I got from one of the members in Discord. some conveyor logistic stuff. No power generation, nothing like that. But here we go. The heavy modular frames like blueprints I've sorted in there to get them out of the way. And then I have these. And this is pretty much the order of what we need to do. So we need to make the copper section. And where are we bringing in the resources? I want to bring them in like so. And let's see if we can align them so that they become easier to deal with. Let's just go with that. That's the smelting, right? But then I need to make stator and more for the wires for it. And I've set this up like so. And my idea is kind of like to see if I can just... I might need to go like this, specifically because of how I've set it up, like the logistics. And where is the... I think the splitter is going to be like, so that's the center. I might need to move this around a little bit, but then to see... Then we have a couple of assemblers that makes the steel rotors. So the wires, when they come out, we need to split them up because they're going 2 directions. And one of them is over... let me see if I can align this in a good way. This might be in the way, so let's move this. There we go. Blueprints. Where do I need you guys? I'm probably looking at down here. Right? Because I'm gonna try and make this into one quick line that gives us the stators and the motors so that we have them producing for the future. Because you need these for certain things up here, like I think the modular engine. But the stator and motor is what you need for automatic wire, which I think is also it's a elevator piece, but you need it for one of these, if I remember correctly. Either way, from stator and motor steel rotor section, we're going into making the actual stators, which will require wire and rotors. So I'm gonna go... Let's go like so. We need space for you. There we go. Alright. And then for making the actual motor, we want to put you guys... I want to put you... And I want to put you over... Let's see, what was the actual recipe for motors? We're making motors this way, so it's these two that we need, right? So then we need to make sure that we are lined up so we can easily get to both of them, which means we place it like so, because that also makes it easier for us to pull over both the stators and the motors to our output for the factory, which is like down below over here, right? So we want to pull this down on the logistics floor and pull that over and make that as easy as possible. I think this is basically a nice layout. We don't have a lot of like limitation to our, like what space to use here or anything, which I think is nice. So with this, I'm just gonna hook up all of our logistics and all of our resources, and I will be right back with you guys once that is done. Alright, so we are back, and I have been working away a little bit and hooking all of the machines up, and I've put this here so I can do a little reveal as the machine starts going. Gotta be entertaining too, you know. So here's the logistics, I say while showing you an absolute forest of conveyor lifts. And to make it simple, it starts over here where the copper is brought in, turned into copper ingots, goes over here, split into these 6 constructors where it makes wires, 180 wire, and then it's going off and is like it's merged from these two lines and then split for where it needs to go. Like I'm gonna bring up a picture. I'm gonna bring up an image quickly. Okay, so the image you can see right now is an image of how I've planned this factory, where it's going, and what the numbers are. And then I just use different logistics to fix that. So, how do I split because this is the fun part. I'm using a different way than I have shown before to split some of these, the wires specifically. So, let's get back in here, and I'll show you. I have shown, this is a normal conveyor splitter. And so how do I split so I get 120 wire here and 60 wire here? Well, I'm using the belts. That's a Mark 1 belt. It can only move 60. It can't do more. So when the 180 comes in here to be split, it's only ever going to be able to send 60 that direction. And then while it's trying to send 90, so that's not going to work. So those extra 30 is going to go here because that's a Mark 2 belt. That can take exactly 120. You can only do this if you have exactly even numbers or like belt number, like the speeds match up with the amounts you're trying to send. But I thought it would be a fun thing to show you. Like it's a very niche use case of like a balanced split. But I wanted to show you guys. And then that's wires sent up into these assemblers to make stators. They're sent up into these assemblers to make rotors, and then the steel pipes come in. I can't do the same thing here because the numbers, as you see on the image, are different. And that means that I need to use a smart splitter. So they're brought up over here, and then in here, they prioritize going over here and doing rotors. Once the rotors are done, or it's filled up rather, because that's where it needs the least. Like if we look at that, it says very clearly that it needs 20 steel pipes to make the rotors, which means that those machines are going to fill up the fastest. Then once those machines are filled up, it's going to very quickly send off the remaining that we need to the Stator production. And that's the thing. Because of how it's set up, it's going to automatically block off because it doesn't use more than this. Like we're not maxing out any of our production or even like belts of what we bring in, right? So we are bringing in, like we have a machine that can bring in, at this point I think the downstairs machine can bring in 270 copper. We're only using 90. So that's gonna fill up automatically. We make 180 steel pipes, we're only using 65, so that's gonna take care of itself. That's the big thing when we are dealing with smaller setups like this, where we have a lot more coming in. We don't need to deal with so much like load balancing and splitting off and like making sure that everything gets filled up, because it's gonna get filled up. So that's an easy problem that solved itself. Then once the stators are done, once the rotors are done, they're sent on to make the actual final product, where here they send up. Here's you got a smart splitter, because primarily we want to send 10 stators up here, and we want to send 10 rotors up here. Like we're only making 10 rotors, but we're making 15 stators. So the remaining 5 will be sent on and stored, so that we have a surplus production of 5, so we can always have some in our inventory. And then our motors come down here, and they're sent off here. And that's 5 motors. So we have 5 stators, 5 motors in production. So where do we send it off? Let me go speed. And then down here, as you can see, I've expanded this a little bit. And I have remodeled our overflow system that goes into the sink. So now the 3 first one, they're merged over here. First the 2 are merged here. You can see that there's a belt in here. They go up, they get merged. And then they get sent over, and as you can see, this belt is like full. So how do I deal with that over here? Well, that's a Mark III belt. I'd literally just double, or added the 480 per minute belts over here with the Mark IVs, where these two, first this one, send in overflow, and then this one send in okay, that's not even set up. Well, good thing that I'm showing you guys so I can do this right. And then that merges in there as well when these are full, so that we will get even more coupon points. I don't even know how many we have at this point. Let's check. We have 53. Awesome. And how much points are we making? Those heavy modular frames are bringing in a ton of points. That's 203 points. 2000 points per minute. Let's see. So let's get back up there and start this hullabaloo and see how it works. Here we are. Let's start it up. There we go. It is connected. Let's see what happens. We're going to see everything is getting power, right? Yep. No red sticks here. Only yellow and green, and the green is spreading. Awesome. Let's see what happens over here. Let's see, is it actually going up? Let's see what... It takes a little bit, so I'm just gonna AFK here a little bit and see what happens, if it evens out and if all the yellow turns off as it should, or if there's any bottlenecks anywhere. I'm bringing in if I find any. I found a problem over here. I have forgotten to link... You can see there's no conveyor belts there, so I'm putting in Mark III conveyor belts on these. There we go. And over here. There we go. Now we see the wire flowing. Perfect. Which means that we are now making the stators as well. Like, it looked weird over here because there's not supposed to be like a stuttering blockage here. It's supposed to just flow perfectly balanced. So yeah, that should be evening out now, because you see, like, this is what it should be looking like, but on that end. So hopefully this... It takes a little bit. Yep, you can see over there it starts running out, so because they are not perfectly like balanced yet. Then you have wires coming in here, and that's balancing out now. So what we should be seeing now is how this balances out once the wires like kind of catch up over here. Let's see how it goes. Come on. It's like, stop filling it up. Come on, I wanna see if it works out over here. Because this is like, if I find one problem spot here, there's likely more. Unless I am very, very lucky, then I have done good. Yeah. Boom. Yeah, it's a little bit stuttery. That looks like there's inefficiencies up top with the machines. Still, that might take a little bit before that, because it's manifolds, right? So it takes a while before they completely levels out. So that's a Mark III, yeah. And over here, what do we have going on with the rotors? That is also looking like this is filled up proper, right? So there's no gap in that. Steel pipes filled up proper, like they are flying through this as it's supposed to. Wait, have I forgotten? Yep, there's no conveyor belt there. There we go. And as it comes in here, 60 at a time, it's going to be perfectly split between the machines. Yep, so now that we have both rotors and stators flowing, we should have, yep, there's stators. There's a motor, there we got them. We got the motors. And it's gonna keep going on to like this until we fill up on motors pretty much. Or like the machines upstairs fill up on stators, and then it's going to start sending the overflow there. So it's gonna be a little while. So I'm back when that is done, and in the meanwhile I'm gonna do some dishes. So I will be right back. Alright, we are back, and I have been doing some stuff. Or rather, I've been AFKing and doing stuff in real life. But yeah, we've filled up on the stators, we've filled up on the motors, and they are now going into the sink instead. And that means that we are making even more points. Let's see, where are we at? That's nice. It's what's it peaking out at? 226,000. So that's about 20,000 more points when we are getting the stators and motors. That's really nice. And that means that we can now go to our nice thing here and cross off we've built this. Boom. And before we do anything else, we need to head back to our headquarters, to our World HQ, because there's some stuff that we have not done there yet that we need to be doing. Alright, we are back! So, World HQ, what are we going to do here? We are going to change some colors up in here. We have actually fixed this, so let's go to a nice green. Copy that. Select color. Now that is lit up green. Select color, and top green is now changed. Select color, and we are making these. And we're going to select color and switch it out. There we go. That's 3 down. And we will pretty much be making everything on the board except these in the next factory. We'll be making plastic, we're making rubber, packaged fuel, high-speed connectors, circuit boards, and computers. That's always all gonna be in one factory. So it's going to be a big project, and we will be starting, like I'm gonna bring up the image, so let's just... So here's image number 1. What we'll be making in the factory is plastic, rubber, packaged fuel. We'll be making empty canisters, we'll have a little bit left over, circuit boards, high-speed connectors, and computers. And here we go, image number 2. So if we, we're moving into the stages then, right? So then we're looking at stage 1, which is the processing of the base resources. Stage 2 and stage 2, 3, and 4 is generally just like making all the intermediary stuff, including dealing with the byproducts. And at the end of this, the output we will have from the factory. But yeah, like that's the factory we're making. So question is then, where will we be making it? So let's hop back to the game here, and let me hop over to the place where we will be building. Alright, so we are arriving at our location, and anyone who's played this before knows that there's a great location over here for oil. If we look at the map, I've marked out where we're making this factory. Here are 4 oil nodes. One here, one over here, and one down here. Those are 2 pure and 2 normal nodes. And I can probably... Okay, that's one's turned off, and I have no way of turning it on right now. But either way, like, you have the coal, like oil nodes that we need over there, where there's a ton of iron and copper and limestone and whatever else up here. Generally, we just have a ton of different resources. Caterium, as we need, is over here, and we also have one node up here, depending on where we want to go. There's iron and coal up here. There's a ton of resources around here for us to be able to do what we want to do for this factory. So, and especially since we don't need a lot of raw resources. And I've started messing around here to just cut it down on some of the dead air, so to speak, when I'm like, so if I'm AFKing, I can also AFK by making some blueprints and like looking around and like prepping future episodes and stuff. So here's what I've been starting working on so far. I might change, like, or I probably will change this up because it's not very modular in terms of being able to develop for the future. So yeah, but if we look around here, we have a massive platform that I'm going to use as the base footprint of what I'm doing. And step number 1, as we all know, is let's bring in the resources that we're going to need. Oil from down there, caterium probably from over there, iron and copper from over there, and then we're going to bring in coal from over there. So I will be right back once I have pulled the lines. So here we are, all the resources are brought in, and I made a nice, at least in my opinion, nice looking tower, like logistics tower kind of thing, that brings in the resources into the base, into the factory. So my idea now is just kind of show you how I was thinking when I designed this thing, so you might have some inspiration to go by when making your own similar thing. So, where are we going? We're going down to where it all starts. Here we go. This is what it looks like. From the ground perspective, you can see I've brought in resources from all over the place. Like if I go here, you can see I have marked up that this is claimed. I grabbed coal from in here in the red forest, and I have grained this oil, and then iron here. You can't see, but there's copper up here that I've grabbed, and then I just made like a water thing over by the tower. So I should have all the resources that we've listed up. See, if I go and up here, and you can see water comes in there. This is the oil, or crude oil specifically, because there are different kinds. Over here we got the caterium coming in. I tried to make some nice walkway design here. That's the priority power switch that I'm gonna use to turn on and off the whole thing. Then in here, if we look at the magic, you can see I've put a hypertube to travel up and down as an easy way. The oil and the water goes here, goes up, and I have forgotten to connect a pump to power up there. That's fun. So let's... this is the wrong menu. So basically what I've done to reach these places is basically fly up, place a platform, land on it, do my job. This is a very simple way to work in vertical spaces if you ever feel like I have the wrong build mode. Always forget that. Okay, there we go. You have to set it at default because you need to be able to click, and then it's instantly when it's placed, boom. Then I can just step on it, and then I can continue flying up. Should be almost there. Yep. So then let's go and mark that. Bring you over. Now that's connected. Good. Now the water is all actually brought up. Basically, that's how I do when I work in vertical spaces. Then copper, iron, caterium, and then the coal that is brought in from over there. The pretty tall tower. I brought it from up top, on top of everything. And then, if we go in here, whoop, just soar to the top. This is a very simple landing here. Boom. Here's the coal, caterium, iron, copper, oil, and water. And then I have made it... Oh, so go back up again. Thank you. Because you can change direction in the middle of the tube. That's no problem. And then I've colored this weirdly. Huh. Well, in here, as you can see, there's a little bit of a walkway up top. This is the logistics floor down here. And then up here is going to be the factory floor. And down here, if you can see I've color coded. So that's the water, that's the oil, copper, iron, caterium, coal. And I have a power node being brought in so that I have power being brought into the factory. So yeah, basically that is what I have set up so far. We have a little bit of more time for recording, so I'm going to continue. And this time I'm going into blueprinting. And because I have extra time, I'm going to take some extra time to actually make the blueprints look good and not just function. And if you want to know how that looks like to me, I will bring you over so we can look at what I've made here so far. Boom. Just gonna exit this door. So this is going to be the main corridor kind of thing. So on the other, like this is half foundation, and there's going to be a, like this is going to be reversed, and the other side is going to be plastic. Okay? And then I've set up these very nice signs with some color. These are green. On the other side, they're going to be blue. And the mix is going to make like a turquoise kind of light, which I really like because color theory is fun. I've used some frame pillars to break up the monotonous walls. I've placed the walls in the middle of a foundation by using our favorite friend, the road barrier. Because if you hold a wall that you want to place somewhere, like on top of this, and just press Control, then you replace the wall wherever that is on the foundation. It doesn't care. It's where that road barrier is. So that way you can like push walls further into a foundation's limits, so that you can get these very nice barriers. That is like there's actual depth and volume here. And then I have this here as a like more muted like maintenance. Like this is how I will be able to get back here. This is the intake, and I wanted to kind of have glass here that shows what goes on underneath, because there's going to be like a line here with oil or like heavy residual oil. It's going to be what comes down there. And then here you have the logistics. Here's the actual rubber being brought out. It's going to be making 55 rubber and bring that along. So this is kind of the style that I'm going for this factory, which is to make more effort per blueprint, but I'm also going to spend more time actually focusing on actually making good blueprints. And this is, I also feel like you guys as viewers, you've seen some of this stuff now, you know some of this stuff, and when I'm doing stuff, it's not necessarily too advanced for you guys, or like flying above your head, or like feels alien to you guys. This is, in my opinion, a natural progression. If you follow along with the beginner series and practice some of the things that I've shown, this is definitely something I think you are capable of achieving yourself. The important thing is just like let yourself take the time to experiment with this stuff. And when you find something that you like, man, this is a blueprint designer, just save it. And yeah, so what I will do is I will set up the blueprints for our oil products first. And we will see if we'll be able to manage the entire of stage 1, or if we have to cut it off a little bit early and continue next episode. So, if you have any thoughts, like what do you like about this? Is the green a little bit too much? Do you want me to break that up a little bit? Is it too monotonous? Because that's something that I can easily do. I can place a line of signs on top of this. For example, I can take like this label sign. Like, while it looks weird here, right? If I just press H and go, let's see here. There we go. So I have it here. I need to remove the text as well. Holy crap. There. And then basically try to align it a little bit inside. I might like to find a different way of doing that, so that I align it so that it is poking out a little bit. But it shouldn't be saying shenanigans, so I'm gonna remove text here. And then save this. Control copy. Control V. But yeah, like if you like how this looks, and then definitely like steal my designs, have fun. That's the point of this. And hopefully you will have very fun trying to do something fun like this. Oh, I'm not supposed to. What? Did I manage to fix that one? I think so. There we go. So now they don't say shenanigans anymore. And now they just... Oh no, the only text I have on a sign is this one that says maintenance. And yeah. So basically, I will do this, and then I will... Like, this one is pretty much done. So I'm going to do the mirrored one, that is the rubber, and see what you guys think about that one. Be right back. So welcome back. Okay, so now I have made a couple of blueprints, and as you can see I'm flying, and the reason for that is I really want to be able to place them correctly and show you guys what the blueprints are going to be like. So I'm going to place them, and they're going to be like corridors, because why not? So here's the start for the rubber and plastic lines. Boom. And as you can see, there's a lot going on in there. And so let me just double check that I have the right direction for this. And it looks like I do. So I want to line this up with foundations, right? So that it matches well. But I also want to give some space so that I can mess around with like pumps and stuff. So let's go like that. That's 2. I have 3 there. That should be enough, right? That should be plenty of space. So I click. It builds. Ta-da! Boom. And please, all the color, can you be correct? All the color seems to be correct. Nice. You can see I've started pulling power lines on the outside here. So I have also made a couple of more blueprints on top of this. But I will start with explaining. So the oil is taken in here. You can see the color coding is the same as over here. And it's processed here and makes plastic and heavy oil residue. And on the other end, we get heavy oil residue and plastic out. And the same thing is true for the other side. It just makes rubber instead. And it's also downclocked. All of them are underclocked the same to get an even production. And what I need to do now is actually, like, I think one of my most like advanced roofs, like internal ceilings, not external, internal ceilings. Let's start my, like, as you can see, this here is a frame floor, right? And I've placed them so they overlap on both sides. And then I've placed these catwalk crossings that has no like railing on top of everything. It goes like this. And that, from the inside, if I go down here and I turn off my flashlight, let's stop flying, creates this. Now, Lumen is of course not on yet, so like the lighting is gonna look very, very different. But I really like how this came out in terms of like visual style. Like it's a very, as in my opinion, like there's actually thought put behind this. I can say that it's as my opinion because I did it and my brain hurts because I'm not used to building. So yeah, and then you can just easily just go in here so you get to maintenance on that side, and then go in here so you get to maintenance on this side. Yeah, so with how much we're making in terms of plastic and rubber, those are all the refineries we need for this stage. I'm gonna leave this space open in case we wanna expand this, because I have a blueprint in here that is just rubber supplement. That is another 3 clocked exactly the same way, so that if I place another one, I can double the production. Like literally just double it. That's my idea, and the same thing goes here. I have 4 here, we need 8. So if we go back into fly mode, so I can align this behemoth properly, it means if I go here and I grab this supplement, I can't afford it. Oh. Well, I'll be right back. Okay, we have encased industrial beams now. So if we go back into this and we pick the plastic supplement. Now it's blue. Now we can place it. Also, please tell me if you need like accessibility to see this more clearly. You can change that in the options. So if you need help to see better, please tell me and I can set that up. So the way that I've done this is because they overlap, I've planned it so that some of the overlap happens here on this side, like from the plastic, and the rest of the overlap happens when you place the supplement for the rubber. So if we go in here, you can see we just double check everything is perfectly aligned. There's no problem placing this. And for those of you who watched my video on modular factories, this will be recognizable to you guys. So, okay, I've missed something there, but this isn't placed. So let's do that. Control, and then place. There we go. And I don't know if I want to have like a second door here or what I want to do, but this is what it looks like for now. Let's turn on flashlights so we can see a little bit. And here we go, power. Well, let's start with hooking up the power logistics. So by doing this, now both those sections are connected. And you have more connection on top here if need be. Then if we look underneath, the output of this byproduct can now continue here. Perfect. And the same goes for the output of this. There, now it's going to collect the plastic from the other four. And then we have up here in the liquid. Let's connect that up. Perfect. And then let's just color this in. We have the heavy oil residue. Select that. Boom. Then we have the, let's go back to customizer. And I think, if I remember correctly, for the plastic I chose the lamp blue that I made. Xcode there. And then I used the Fixit Foundation primary for the other. There we go. Perfect. And then we just need to change it again, and this time we use oil and oil, select color, boom. And with that, the entire oil or entire what's it called? Plastic and rubber section has been constructed. Then all we have to do is plug in oil into those two, and this factory or these sections will be able to run. Now, I'm not going to do that today. We still have some more stuff to set up, like the fuel and such, but there is a clear progress with the factory happening. So, what do you guys think? What is your thoughts on the start? We made the stators, we made the motors, and that was like a quick, just let's get some of this going so we have them. And then we went over, we made this beauty, and I spent some time, because all of this is handcrafted, no blueprints for this. And then I have made sure that we've pulled in all the resources. And if you're like me, I don't necessarily like these long conveyor bus lines. I want to make something that is using trucks and trains, but I want the trains, I want the resources to make the trains, and I want the power setup to run the trains before I start doing that. So what's your opinion on this so far? Do you like the design? Is it too much glass? Do you want me to break it up somehow? What's your opinion on it? And don't worry, sooner or later we're going to get to the point where we start experimenting properly with these and launching each other across the entire world map in a single go. So if you like the episode, please show that by pushing the like button, and make sure to comment, subscribe, join the Discord, all those fun things. And if you have ideas for like this kind of design and stuff, go right ahead. I am open to all feedback. So we'll see you in the next episode. And until then, have a really great time. Bye!